Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here with some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today we'll be looking at a game between GoldenLighT and BabyKnight. This is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg, BabyKnight versus GoldenLighT here on the map Antigua Shipyard. And let us begin with some player information. Starting in the upper left-hand spawn position, our yellow Zerg player is GoldenLighT. GoldenLighT took third place at the North America TeamSpeak TL Open number 26. This was in October of 2011. And in January of 2012, he took first place at the Zotac StarCraft 2 North America Cup number 36. His opponent, our red Protoss player, down over here in the lower right-hand spawn position, is BabyKnight. BabyKnight took first place at the 4 Players DE Close Combat February qualifier in 2012. And in 2011, he took third place at the Go4 SC2 Monthly Finals October. So that is some recent tournament information for both these players, and let us get into this match. I'm really excited to be back to some StarCraft 2 commentary. Spent the last couple of days playing D3 and working on Diablo 3 content as well, and I'm sure there are many of you who are missing the StarCraft 2 commentary, so once again, I'm happy to be back in the swing of things. We will be seeing the Overlord Scouts of GoldenLighT move cross-positional here directly. The first one moving to the lower right, second one moving to the middle section right around here. And once he does scout out BabyKnight, he will then actually be probably putting it right over somewhere, either down over here or right over in this position. Most likely down over here, to be perfectly honest with you. BabyKnight now scouting the upper right-hand spawn location with his probe. Haven't seen any scouts yet from GoldenLighT. He does actually have his spawning pool coming through. It's about halfway done right now. Hasn't worked into the hatchery quite yet. Going pool first, quite common in this matchup. You know, when you're dealing with a Protoss opponent, that early game harassment can be very frustrating, so we see pool first very, very often. And now actually finally coming out with that hatchery. As we can see over here, BabyKnight isn't going with the very, very standard Forge Fast Expand build. He opened up with the Pylon, Gateway, and Cybercore. A lot of times, once again, in this matchup, in a PvZ, you will see that Protoss player just go Forge Fast Expand. Very, very popular tactic, either going with the wall off up here, or maybe even more commonly, you'll be seeing that wall off down here, working into that quick Nexus. But again, we aren't seeing that this game from BabyKnight, so I will be interested to see what he's deciding to do. We have a second assimilator coming up. We'll be working to saturate that in a moment. Probe Scout, after finding out where GoldenLighT was, is actually now going into hiding, and this will of course allow him to try to move in with a secondary scout at some point in the future. Let's see what kind of vision Mr. BabyKnight has gotten. Not too much yet. Mr. GoldenLighT hasn't really seen much. He's got the scouting overlord over here. He did of course see that there was no Forge Fast Expand, so that tells him a lot. BabyKnight actually coming out with a pylon over here. I'll really keep a close eye on what he's doing, because this could mean some early aggression from him. So let's keep an eye on this. Still just sitting with the one gateway. The warp gate research is coming forward here as well. Few Zerglings now moving out. There are 4 in play, 2 in that direction, 1 over here, the other one actually scanning around. He is trying to find the probe that will be moving in for secondary scouting, and that is actually sitting over here at the moment. Is he gonna? Yes, he is. He'll be spawning this pylon. That is quite unfortunate there for BabyKnight. BabyKnight coming out with a Twilight Council, still just on the 1 base. Interesting position. I guess this is going to try to stop any secondary Overlord scouting, some sacrificial Overlord scouting from finding out what's going on. GoldenLighT will be using the Overlord to look for an expansion. However, as we can see, still not there. That is finally coming through. Is he going to catch it? Yes, he does. So he spots the fact that BabyKnight has just placed down that expansion. The question is, though, is he committing to that? Or is that one of those fake expansions that you break off? I don't think it is, though. Does have this Twilight Council. Is it going to be Blink Stalkers or DT for BabyKnight? That is the question. Dark Templar, BabyKnight opening up this game with some DT. Love it, absolutely love it. And we'll have to see if GoldenLighT ends up seeing that to scout it out. Got a Spine Crawler in play. Now there's no layer coming forward. There's no evolution chamber for Spore Crawlers. He will need one or the other to make sure he can deal with those cloaked Dark Templar. But once more, he doesn't know that those are coming. So we've got the expansion building at the moment. A couple more gateways getting placed down over here. There's the Dark Shrine. Metabolic boost being researched. Zerglings now actually moving down. He wasn't able to kill off this pylon with that first Zergling, as we saw a Zealot take that out, this one right here. However, a few more Zerglings will now be moving down to try to take that out. Let's see if he's able to do that. I'm not sure yet. Not going to happen. Another Zealot gets warped in. He is all set here. So Zerglings moving forward. We'll be seeing those 3 Zealots and should be pulling back as expected there. GoldenLighT decides, yeah, I can't deal with that. Third base coming through right now as GoldenLighT gets ready to take another expansion. That Dark Shrine almost finished. That layer is not going to be done in time. Oh, this could be tragic. Alright guys, we do have 3 warp gates in play. So we'll be seeing 3 DT now warped in over here. And again, GoldenLighT is not ready for this. Layer halfway done, evolution chamber halfway done. He'll be taking some damage before he gets any cloak detection in play. Few Zerglings trying to move out, and that gets dealt with by a couple sentries laying down the force field, forcing those links back. But here go the DT. One hitting this expansion over here. He may very well force that cancel. Evolution chamber now finally done. He'll be coming out that spore crawler, but not before he takes some damage. Taking a look here, 5 workers killed already. Doing the right thing, trying to clump up his units and stop those DT from doing much. And ooh, he's going to prevent a lot of this damage. Still, they will be fanning out, doing as much as they can. Has managed to force it to cancel over here. That's very, very unfortunate there for GoldenLighT. Absolutely not what he wanted. Dark Templar finally get taken out. This one is about to be dropped. 12 workers were killed. Now, he's only lost the 2 Dark Templar. He still should have that 1 in play. Yes, he does. So he'll be heading back home with the rest of the army. Was able to force a cancel, kill off, once again, 12 workers. And we can see that total resource loss at 1250 right now for GoldenLighT. So that definitely set GoldenLighT back. But at the same time, going for those DT and losing 2 of them obviously hurt. But teching in that direction definitely hurts him a bit. Sets him behind from getting Colossus, sets him back from getting High Templar. We are seeing a robotics facility come out. Aren't seeing the Twilight Council, so it looks like it won't be High Templar. So might very well be seeing the Colossus transition here for BabyKnight. But yeah, those DT, I don't know, they did some damage, but they weren't super effective. I would say really the biggest thing, of course, was that force cancel over here. GoldenLighT still being on 2 bases is kind of rough, and we are seeing some continued aggression here from BabyKnight. Actually trying to work down those rocks. First getting the creep tumor there to deny some vision there for GoldenLighT. He's going to drop these rocks very, very quickly. Stalkers coming forward. We will see reinforcements likely warped in from this position. Oh, wow. GoldenLighT just cancels it preemptively. Oh, all right. Now, you know, I was a little iffy as to really how effective the DT harass was, given that he was set behind in tech. But you know what? After canceling that again, forcing another cancel of that expansion, GoldenLighT still just on 2 bases. Now he's really, really hurting. Very important to keep in mind that as a Zerg player, you do want to be 2 bases, 1 base above your Protoss or Terran opponents. And so the fact that it is still 2 base versus 2 base gives the Protoss player BabyKnight quite an advantage. Yet again, GoldenLighT trying to get that 3rd base up. Is it going to happen though? That's the question. Robotics coming out with an observer. We have another gateway coming through. Looks like we haven't seen that Colossus switch yet. Still just sticking to those gateway units. And he actually has just finished that Blink research, so we'll be seeing Blink Stalkers here from him. So not even going into that heavy splash tech in the Colossus and or High Templar yet. Just not quite making that transition at the moment. He's happy to just stick with his gateway tech and continue to pressure, try to do as much damage as possible. Keep in mind, these Stalkers do have Blink, and there was an observer with vision to the high ground, so at any moment, BabyKnight can take the high ground with that. Trying to move down and take it out. Prevented. A couple of DT and a Zealot warp in. Stops those links from taking out that pylon, so we will see continuous warp ins over here from BabyKnight. BabyKnight also poking and prodding. Places down a few force fields and then pulls back. Scouting Zergling gets taken out. We do have a Zergling checking for the 3rd expansion of the 3rd base of BabyKnight whenever he decides to come out with that. Still nothing yet. Now coming out with a robotics bay. Also coming out with a 2nd robotics facility. So that we'll be seeing that transition finally into Colossus. He is moving on from just the main focus of the gateway tech. Working up to that, again, the Colossus, which is very, very effective against those ground units, especially with that range upgrade. Especially effective against things like Zerglings and Hydras, which we actually don't have much of in play right now. There are literally no Zerglings. Heavy roach transition here from GoldenLighT. Has finally been able to come up here with this 3rd base. Really want to see cloak detection as well. A small little kind of drive-bys, if you will, of Dark Templar can be pretty devastating. So We'll like to see some sort of defensive measure against that. I guess he's got an Overseer nearby, so it's not that the worst of things. Scouting Roach moves forward. We'll be taking out the Zealot. Let's take a look at upgrades, actually. Yeah, that's a big discrepancy. Just now coming out with the missile attack level 1, but as we saw, we have 2 weapons already here for BabyKnight. Doesn't have any other research going down at the moment, though, in terms of those weapons and armor upgrades. A couple of cannons coming down at this expansion. Transition into Spire, as well as the Hive Tech. Spire building at the moment. Coming out with the missile attack level 2. And what else is going on? That's pretty much it. Both players kind of just macroing up at the moment. As you can see, of course, and pretty obvious without even looking at that, the GoldenLight is behind. We've been seeing some very, very effective engagements and aggression there from BabyKnight. How did he not realize that that was a changeling? I don't know. I guess he wasn't looking. That was an automated attack response by the Zealot, and then when it switched, he's like, "Oh, that's my friend, right?" No, sir, that is not your friend. Roach is now finally moving down to deal with this, and he will be granting himself vision and quickly taking out that pylon. It is about time that he dealt with that. The transition over here for GoldenLight is going to be into that Greater Spire for the Broodlords. These Roaches are goners. Just have the burrow, but here comes the Observer. So the Roaches get taken out. Very strong force here for BabyKnight with that double robotics facility. Churning out 2 Colossus at a time. It's going to make things a bit hard for GoldenLight. We can see those Corruptors coming on through. Now, obviously, he wants to use some of those for some Broodlords, but also having those just to deal with the Colossus in general is going to be quite beneficial. A few Roaches moving down. This is for scouting purposes. Try to do a little bit of damage. He's just going to move straight up into this expansion, do what he can. We got a couple of cannons, take a few pop shots. Should be seeing a warp in of a couple Stalkers or ADT or something to deal with this. Yeah, so doing a little bit of damage, but he's got a large force knocking at his front door, so we'll have to see how effective this is. 2 Zealots and a Stalker get warped in. Here comes the large push. Nice fungal growth. The Stalker's blinking back. We have 5 Broodlords coming through. Also a few more Corruptors. It looks like doesn't matter though, as BabyKnight will be able to quite easily take out this expansion. A few more Stalkers getting warped in over here. Big problem for those Broodlords will be those Blink Stalkers. Let's see how GoldenLight deals with that. He has lost his expansion though. Major issue. Stalkers blinking forward, taking out the Broodlords one at a time. Wants to focus those down. Don't know why he's not. There we go, finally within range. Now down to the 1. No more Broodlords. GoldenLight has pretty much nothing. BabyKnight continues to push. He's going to take out these spines without issue. Roach is about to get taken out too. Yeah, not good at all. And there's the GG from GoldenLight. This game we saw BabyKnight open up with some Dark Templar harass, which was somewhat effective, killing off a few workers and forcing the cancel of the 3rd base. The biggest thing though was the second push that we saw from BabyKnight, forcing a second cancel of the 3rd, really setting GoldenLight behind and then just putting BabyKnight in a dominant position for the rest of the game. On top of that, we saw no real effective counter-aggression at all from GoldenLight, making for a fairly easy victory for our Protoss player. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks again, guys. Keep watching and keep owning.